Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sam Saab. I'm the president and founder of Result Software. Very pleased to have you with us today on the Go Mobile with Results webinar. This is an educational webinar to our clients and prospects to go through specific components of the Results product itself. Today we're going to talk about the mobile version of the Results product that is part of the Results Enterprise. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to cover with you the following. I have a couple of slides before we get into the live demo, and the slides are to share with you the specifics regarding the product lines within the Results product and how Results for the web and Results Mobile fit into the product line strategy of Results Software. We really have two primary products, Results CRM, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, and that's really focused for sales and marketing, contact management, creating quotations, estimates, managing your sales opportunities, your customer service, as well as document management. These are all part of the Results CRM product. Now, for those that want to take Results CRM to the next level, where you're managing the full team as well as managing the business itself, so you'll basically go to the next level, which is Results Business Suite. In this case, you're taking everything that's part of the Results CRM and you're building upon that project and resource management, service and work order management, which is going to be part of what you're going to see today. Time billing and timesheets will be part of that. Sales orders, purchase orders, as well as invoicing and payment collections are all part of the Business Suite. So when you're looking at Results Enterprise is taking the Results Business Suite product and putting on top of that the Results Web Mobile. Results Web Mobile is two products in one. It's Results for the web, which duplicates the functionality of the Results Business Suite onto the web using any browser that you would want and using any device you would want. And also adds Results Mobile. Results Mobile is an interface that's designed specifically for smaller devices. So phones, PDAs, and smartphones are basically covered with the Results Mobile product. And you'll be able to get all that functionality from the Results Enterprise product. There's one additional product that's a sub-product of the Results Enterprise for those field technicians, installers, entities within your team that are working totally remotely and don't need the full business management functionality. In that case, we have something called Results Field Services Portal. That portal is a limited license that is actually just allows a technician or an installer or somebody in the field to just come in, pick up their tickets, their work orders, their service orders, be able to work those, take pictures before and after, receive a signature. They can even create a quotation if they're asked to do that while they're on site and move on to the next ticket and next job that they have assigned to them. So that's the Field Service Portal. This is a very quick representation, visual representation of what we mentioned about Results Enterprise. So effectively, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're working with the Results Desktop product, which is what this laptop on the left-hand side is showing. This is the actual Results Desktop screen. On the right-hand side, you're showing a tablet, and you're seeing the full core functionality, a similar menu on the top, the data management centers that you're used to using. And in the middle of the screen is Results Mobile. In this case, it's a totally different interface that's focused to work within the PDA or the smartphone device itself. And that's what we're going to demonstrate, all that functionality. We're going to go through all these three products for you today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to come back to the Q&A later on. All right, so here's what I have for you. Let me get you familiar with what I'm going to be using to demonstrate that functionality. And we're going to go through the bullets as you have them in the Go Mobile with the Results invitation for the webinar. First, we're going to work from this Results Desktop product. So what you're going to see shortly is whatever we have here is exactly what you're going to experience or be able to work with and see when you're in the field, when you're using the mobile devices. The other thing that I'm going to bring up on the screen is the Results Web Mobile, and that's going to be this product here. Okay, the Results Web product, Web Mobile product, is actually two products in one. Let's just leave it here on the screen for now. We're going to come back to it shortly. It's really two products in one. So your users will actually be able to work directly from one log into one website, which is the website you would publish that has Results Web Mobile on it. And then when they log in, the system will do an auto-sensing based on the device they are using. If they're using a laptop or a desktop for that matter, and or a tablet, it will go to the full results for the web. And if they're using a smartphone or a PDA, the auto-sensing technology will take them directly to the Results mobile interface. By the way, if they're using a tablet or an iPad, and they'd rather work with the mobile interface, then they can click on this box and that will override the auto-sensing technology and take them directly to the mobile site. We're going to come back to that in a second. And then towards the end of the presentation, we're going to share with you some of the custom portals that we have built for various clients, just to give you a feel for the rich set of functionality you can receive as you are working with your data. That's the main asset for your organization, the data, whether it originally came in from QuickBooks, whether it came in from Outlook, whether it came in from Constant Contact and or being bidirectionally sent to any of those products. Results becomes the hub of your data, and from there it's going to be that data is shared and accessible directly from any web-enabled device using any of the 4 common browsers up there, so you're able to work productively regardless of where you are within at any time. Just reach out to the device that's most suitable to the location you're in. All right, so let's first get into the system and show you a couple of things that we're going to duplicate and see on the results for the web as well as the Results mobile. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the home page. So this would be, you have 65 customers, double click on them. You're going to go to the Data Management Center that actually has the 65 records themselves. So that's one data point to be aware of. The other thing that we're going to basically also be able to show is that when you're working with your activities and scheduling work for the mobile users to see the activity, they're going to be able to see a number of components within that. So first, let me show you this aspect here. We're going to go to the setup. We're going to go to the activity types. This is where your lookup tables are set up and the various things that you can do with them, and the defaults are all here. Now, you might not be aware of this feature, but I'm going to demonstrate it. I'm going to highlight it here because we want to take full advantage of it, especially for your mobile users, because the whole point is to use digital technology to empower them to see what they need to see to get the job done without having to deal with paperwork or copies of things, or even coming to the office to pick up the paperwork needed to get their job done. So what I'm going to demonstrate with today is an activity that I'm setting up here for you. It's called Service On-Site. So this is how we'd set up a typical service on-site. And the key thing about this is that we are going to basically link to it. Notice how we have a linked document to it directly, and we're able to link to it anything that we want to. So in this case, this could be specifications or a checklist that is basically available for users to engage from within the fields. So when you're setting up those activities, you can have a different listing to be tackled and managed by a person based on the activity type. So you can have a checklist for a person building a deck, and it can have a different checklist or a different document altogether for someone else that's basically working on a roof or doing painting work. So in this case, we have attached initial proposal for business fee, price, and included services, just a document that is part of this on-site service itself. Also, services can be set up to be shown in a calendar. They can also be set up to have a certain color code that will carry through. You can also set them up as a billable activity, and then you can have a specific description that will go along with that, as well as detailed notes and maybe additional instructions here that will be part of the description of what should be done on site. Now, let's go to a contact record. We're going to go ahead and click on Manage. We're going to open up Stefan Anderson's record. And if we go to the existing projects for Stefan Anderson, you're going to see that we have a number of different projects in here. I'm going to go ahead and select one of the projects, and this is just a test project, and we're going to go and create an activity or add an activity, a service order or work that needs to get done on this specific project. So the first thing I'm going to do as I'm adding this activity is I'm going to go to the selection criteria on the right side, and I'll see the ability to select from the services. And one of them is going to be an on-site service. So as soon as I select that, I'm able to basically say this is a test service to be conducted in the field. A couple of things to note. The system automatically cross-referenced the customer information up here. It automatically cross-referenced the actual job site where the work is going to get performed. And you'll notice this document, initial proposal, that we wanted exposure for that, or this could have been a checklist or whatever it is that is needed to be part of this on-site service is actually going to be available and linked to the same activity. Let's go ahead and assign this activity to Mary. And we're going to select that name from here and hit save. So in this case, the system is showing a warning message regarding the billable activities, and that is okay because we can handle the actual billable activities later on. Just for those of you that use the system and have not seen this message before, just to clarify, we have put a default of 1 hour of work that is expected or estimated to take us to do this service. And then the billable, on the billable, we check that automatically as a billable activity to be billed under the analysis service. And in this case, the system is still showing 0. Typically, we will come and fill this at the end after the work is done because it might take them more than an hour or less than an hour, and it's just a matter of finalizing that before we create the invoice, and you'll see that shortly. All right, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and close this out. And let's just jump over to the web product. Going to the product, I'm going to go ahead and log in as Mary first. And in this case, I'm going to tell the system to just log me in normally. So the first thing that I wanted to show you is the, notice I'm working from a laptop in this case, and so the system, the auto sensing technology, automatically was able to sense that my screen size is sufficient enough to allow me to work with the full product. So it took me directly to what's called results for the web. The results for the web product is a replica of all the core functionality of what we do with the results desktop. And the logic behind this is the following. When your staff is telecommuting or working remotely or traveling and working from their hotel rooms, the idea is to give them, empower them to work from any device that they have and using the same product functionality that they're used to. So it doesn't feel like you're training them on a different product or that they have to learn how to think or operate or use different menu options and different selections just because they are in the field. They're going to use the same core product. So as you noted that when we're coming into our results desktop product, we come from into the home page, and here's Mary on the home page. And notice that we had 65 clients up there. So Mary can do the same functionality from here. She's clicking on the first entry, and that will open up and display the 65 records total. Now, within this product, there's a couple of additional functionality that, of course, are suitable and applicable to the web. So in the results desktop product, you don't have this capability, but here you can decide that you wanted to basically show more rows, more than just the default set of rows within the data management center itself. That's totally your option. Now notice, let's switch you back to the desktop for a second. Notice that when we started from the home page and we clicked on the 65, we went to a full data management. Sorry, let me go back here, and we're going to go to a data management center that has the 65 records. You have still the standard search. You still have the advanced search available to you with the various options up here. Now let's go to the web product, and you're going to see identical functionality where you're able to get your standard search, and these are your common items to search for and to use for searching, including your phonetic search, which is unique to the results product, being able to find a entity regardless how their name is spelled, but just by the way the typing in a similar letters to correspond to the sound alike, and the system will find it. And I'll show you some examples of that on Results Mobile. If you go to the advanced search, you have the same exact functionality, and whatever the entity is used to work from and experience within the office itself, that same user will be able to experience the same as they work from the mobile product itself. Now, if you are on the web product and open up Stefan Anderson's record, you're going to see the same amount of tabs available to you at the bottom of the screen. So those of you that are used to Results product know that when you go and open up Stefan Anderson's record, you have the multiple tabs at the bottom to basically be able to not only see that this is Stefan Anderson's record, but these are the various activities we have scheduled with them, including the schedule that Mary has to accomplish today, the one for 8/31. There might be want to see all the open projects available, all the documents that are on the system, invoices, whatever they owe us money or not, through the Finances tab. So if we go to the web product, we're now empowering your team, regardless where they're working. When they're on the road, they're able to see the same thing. Show me the activities. Your activity for assigned to Mary for 8/31 is right there. One nice advantage, by the way, for the web product, because it's browsers and browsers, there's a scrolling effect that users are accustomed to. One of the nice things that we were able to put in there for you is the fact that we don't force you to close a tab to basically open up another tab. So in this case, you'll notice my activities are still displayed, and I'm able to see the additional tab, in this case, the project, general project. I'm able to open that if I want to from here too. I'm able to see the documents. I'm able to go down to the finances information and see the same $23,000 that were shown as due, and all of those can be closed independently. Now, the other thing that is already part of the system is that you're able to drill in. So this is not a one screen level deep. On the browsers, typically web products and web software typically don't have a lot of depth in allowing you to drill in and drill back out to the information that you want to see. So in this case, I not only opened up the contact record, but I drilled into the activity record. On the activity record, I can see the information I summarized. I'm able to see the billable information that we saw before. I'm able to also see the link to the customer, link to the job site, link to the document, as well as the link to the project itself. You'll notice also as you drill in within the web product that the system has the ability to close the screen and have you return one screen at a time to the previous screen. We also have the concept of go home. What that really means is that you might be 6 levels deep, right? You open up a project, and from the project you open up an activity. From the activity you open up a document. Well, that's very deep, and you don't, from a level of drilling into the record information, and you don't necessarily want to always go back one screen at a time. So that has a concept of go home. That basically means close out. I'm done with the contact record. Take me back to my home menu and to the home page. So that's always accessible and available to you. So one quick thing to show you also, for those of you that have worked with our calendar, we have a pretty sophisticated multi-user group calendar, and this is working from the desktop product. I'm able to see Frank's calendar, Kathy's calendar, Robert's calendar, able to see those on a daily view, weekly view, and a monthly view. Now imagine you're a supervisor in the field and need to adjust somebody's calendar information or shuffle schedules around because somebody ran late at a job or called in sick. So if you're now on the web product on a tablet in the field or a laptop in the field, you're able to come into your calendar and activities. You're able to open up the calendar, same menu options, same consistent behavior as the main product, and now you're able to do the same thing. I want to work and see more than one person's calendar at the same time. And by the way, this is the one for 2 p.m. that is assigned to Mary. You can see it here. By the way, you can click and drag it and assign to somebody else if you want. But to be consistent in what we're showing you, you also have the weekly view for the multiple entities, and you have the monthly view, and you also have the timeline view. So the system is consistent in delivering the core functionality, not just data entry screens, not just regular searches, but the ability to also work with the same components and the functionality that you're used to working from, something to the detailed level as this. Remember, in our, or in case you have not used it, our calendar can also be viewed by teams. So let's say you are working on scheduling the sales and marketing team, and there's 2 of them in the team, then you're able to see their calendar side by side. Well, you can do this same functionality as people that are used to doing that in the desktop. Sales and marketing team, that's your 2 individuals, Mike and Dimitri, and that's their calendar information on a daily, monthly, and or weekly view. So the same core functionality and the same usability of the product is in both versions of the product. Going to the contact management side, you're able to click on Manage. You're able to do a standard search. And what I was referring to before is the ability to search for a person, let's say by the last name of McKinsey. If you tell the system that you need help finding that name, you click on the phonetic search and you click Apply, and the system is able to find 2 records with McKinsey, even though they're not spelled anything like what you just typed in here. This is what we call phonetic search or soundic search, a very well-known feature within and unique to results. We're able to demonstrate that for you from here. Now, let's step back from here, and directly from this same screen, I'm logged in as user Mary. I'm able to jump over to the mobile site. And now I am working with an interface totally designed and geared towards an entity that is working from a smaller device. Now, if I was on an iPad, my screens might look like this. I might still want to use it. But if I am on a smartphone or a PDA, the whole point is that this will also work for you. So the way we've done the results mobile is we have because of the limited amount of space, we have the menu system work totally differently. So you'll notice the menu system is a pop-out that you can also close and be able to work within the entries that are in the system up here. If I tell the system to not show me prior activities that are open, which is an option that I just exercised, because I'm logged in as Mary, you'll notice that Mary right now has 1 activity that is available for her to work on. So I'm able to engage that by clicking on it. Keep in mind, again, we're working from, or the assumption for this interface is that you're working from a smartphone. Now, not all smartphones are created equally. Notice what's going to happen if I widen this. Let's say you're using one of the larger iPhones. Notice if there is enough space, the screen will take full advantage of that and move the fields around to allow you to see 2 to a row if possible. But if you're using some of their older phones and their limited screen space, then the system will adjust also accordingly. Your drop downs are just very much work the same way that they do within the desktop product. So right now, if I come in here and engage this service ticket, I'm able to scroll in here, see what the description of the ticket is. I'm able to see it was signed to Mary. I'm able to close that tab out, by the way, and notice how additional tabs are organized in a way that they're easy to view with minimal scrolling. So the ability then is to now work from the links tab, which corresponds to, if you remember when we were working with the desktop product, and you're looking at Stephen Anderson's, and you're working from the general activities, and you go to the activities tab, then basically the links tab that is here is going to show the core information, which is exactly what you're seeing in the field. So in the field right now, I'm using a full license, so not only would I see that this is the primary account, but can actually engage that primary account, so I can see the full contact data onto that account itself. That's available to you. So the ability then is to drill in further and see the information that you need to see. This is the job site. That's where the work needs to get done. This is the document. This could be, many times it's a schema of what needs to get worked on or a checklist. Let's go ahead and open that document. This is an example of being able to leverage whatever document you have attached. And this was just a sample document. I'm going to scroll over to this screen. This was a sample proposal for Mike at Virginia Window Roofing for whatever needs to get done. That's what's in the proposal. That's the work in the field needs to match to that proposal. So you'll notice that this information then is, this document is accessible, and all you did was basically just select that on-site work, and everything was linked to it. This is the actual project level information that's needed. You don't have to close a tab to see additional information, so you can work as you're comfortable. You don't have to close that link. I'm going to go on to the next one. If there were products that I needed to take with me to get this job done, they would have been added from the system, and I will be able to see everything about them directly from this products app. If there were additional notes that were put in there for me to see or know about, then I'll be able to also view them. But I can also add notes from here. I can say work completed. And by the way, as you're setting up your systems, you can also have, instead of having your field staff type, which they don't usually like doing when they're in the field, please note that there's a status. So for example, I've seen organizations that will set up a status that says ready for billing. Or order parts, so they can select from the drop-down, which is less work from them to type the information within the notes themselves. But for the sample here, I'm just going to show the notes. By the way, a person typing the notes in can also do the date and timestamp ahead of the notes so that everything is marked accordingly. Internal notes is kind of a lessons learned for your team to share with others. Resolution is typically the actual work that was done step by step of what was completed in the field. Sometimes that's also included on the invoices. Attachments is where it starts getting fun. So this is your typical field technicians or installer, and they are using their mobile device, and now they are able to take pictures. In this case, because I'm working from a laptop, so I'm sorry, first, in this case, they will click on the button, take a picture, and that will automatically engage the picture-taking ability of the device they're on, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad or any other device that has the picture capability. In this case, when I click on take picture, just because I'm already on a product, I'm already on a computer, I'm going to be able to go to the browser itself, and let me go ahead and select the file so we can attach it right there. Let's go to documents, and let's go ahead and select this before file, and then I'm just going to refer to this as before, and then I'm going to take another picture, and let's go select the after picture, and we can give it whatever short description we want. Also notice to allow, sometimes your users are sitting in an area where the speed of the internet connection is not that high. So you notice how we queue up the files, and this way when they click on upload files, they'll be able to see the information as it gets uploaded. So there'll be a bar going across showing the information, and so there's a delay. They don't get impatient, especially with some of the resolution. Some of those image files might be pretty large. Once those documents are attached and uploaded, like we just finished them right now, notice the files have been uploaded, an additional button appears to allow you to view the image gallery. So notice now the person in the field can actually use the slide viewer to see the pictures that they've attached. So there's no questions or no issues with the quality or the completeness of what they wanted to capture. Let's do one more thing that's part of service tickets, is to actually capture. I have the worst handwriting in the world. Now you know why I got into computers, right? So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and sign off on this ticket. Signature has been accepted. We can do a quick update. And I'm going to go to the top of this ticket and flag it as completed. Typically, also, you'll have your staff put a status on it. So in this case, I'm going to say it is complete. We're going to update that. By the way, the full product in the field has the ability to additional things to be done. You can notify the person on the ticket. You can notify the project manager that this task is done. So it's a quick email that you can send with everything self-configured. You don't have to look up. You do not have to look up anybody's email address. All the information is already there. Also, many times while your technician or installer is on site, they'll say, oh, by the way, how about you give me an estimate what would it take to do this or that? So you're able to create a quotation in the field, and the beauty of the ability to create a quotation in the field, then the system knows everything already about the account you're at. So instead of your users having to go search and find and then attach the proper site and the proper account, everything is already in there. And so the information is very rapid in how you're able to create those quotations. You're able to go ahead and put a details line items on it, again, add an item, and build a quotation right there. You can even receive a signature on a quotation approving that automatically as the person is in the field. All right, so at this point, let's go ahead and switch back to the Office site and take a look and see what has happened to the world of information. So let's take an open from here and go ahead and refresh. And I'm going to go ahead and open up this ticket and see what happened with it. So a couple of things you'll notice. Remember the status that I just set a second ago from the field? Please note, this is your desktop product. This is equivalent to your back office operation, which could be miles and miles away from wherever your technician just pushed the save button on that activity and did the work. So there's no more calling the office to say this is done. There's no more back and forth information. It's all centralized. The completed flag is there. The is complete is here. The notes, remember the notes with a timestamp that Mary put in the field? They're already there. Now, in the back office, everything is done. You can go to this. Notice how the billable time also got updated based on the actual duration. In this case, I left it at 1 hour. So you're able to, at this point, you're done. You're able to proceed to even build the invoice instantly if you want to. The system will say, are you sure you want to build an invoice for this? Yes, we are. And then the selected invoice has been run. And that's your invoice number 5217 that just got created in the back office seconds ago, seconds or minutes after the work was done. Let's go take a look at it. From here, by the way, without closing the ticket, the system will bring in the information you need. I'm going to go open up the contact record itself. This is your contact record. If I go to invoices, you're going to find that there's an invoice 5217 that was just mentioned. It's for 1 hour of what? It's whatever was in the description. And anything that was in the notes comes along to the description, to the line item, so you can include it if you want to in the invoice itself. Some people like to do that, so they can put the detailed notes from their technician on the invoice. Some people decide to only put this description. But notice everything is completed for you, and you did that instantly with all the information that might be available to you, and then you are able to just go ahead and print that invoice and email it out to the client directly. Right? So everything that needs to get done is part of a teamwork between the field technicians picking up the tickets that you assigned to them from headquarters based on quotations that came in and you converted them to work orders, or based on additional tasks that were requested and assigned to them, and all the work gets done in both places. All right, so we're actually short on time, so let me jump ahead to a couple of items. What I wanted to make sure we cover with you today is we show you the results for the web, showed you results mobile. We showed you how to deal with tasks, before, after pictures, signature capturing, quotations. Then the next item is being able to see real company information from any device. We already shared that with you, so you saw how we were able to drill in deep into the activity record and to the contact record and open up multiple tabs. Let me show you, what if you're in the field and you need to look up a customer? I'm able to go to contacts, I'm able to do a search, and this is another example where you're looking for, let's say we're looking for somebody else this time. I'm looking for Murphy. I decide to type Murphy with M-U-R-F-Y, and I'm going to do a search. And these are 3 other spellings of the Murphy that might be possible, and the system will find them for you because we clicked on the phonetic search. Had we not clicked on phonetic search, then there was only one match for matching that last name spelling. So Soundex is a very strong way and very effective way for you to get to the information quickly, regardless whether you're using results mobile, results for the web, or your desktop product. Once you open up, once you have a search results, you'll open up the records and be able to see the information on them. So the next item that I wanted to share with you is the ability to see the order documents and service order schematics instructions. So that's what we shared with you when we opened up the links tab on the order request itself. And when Mary was working on that, she was able to open up that associated document. So that's covered in that portion of the presentation. The next one I wanted to show you is that you have additional options up here. One of the areas that we have given you capabilities with is to look for available activities. So notice a person in the field, let's say you finished your, I'm going to allow that, let's say you finished your work early, ahead of schedule, and now before you need to go to your next appointment, you want to see what else is in the area that you're in that you might be able to work on. So unfortunately, I don't have sample data in here that matches that, but the point is that the technician, using the GPS that's already on their device, the technician can say, show me anything within 25 miles of where I am. I'm going to do a search. If any records were found, by the way, you see this map button up here. You're actually able to map and see the whole set of information that comes up on a map relating to where you are. So your position will be in a different color than the others, and be able to see which one you want to tackle by seeing them visually or seeing them through a list. The other thing that we've done built into the results system itself is the ability to search based on an actual location. And there's a number of things you can search on that. So let's say I am on 123 Main Street, and that is in Herndon. Virginia. Let's go ahead and put this as 20171. Okay, so this module is useful in multiple ways, but the two typical areas that we see people using it is the following. You get a task or a job, somebody calls in and say, I'm in this location, do you have a technician or an installer in the area that can come and take care of me? Well, what you do is you put in the address information, we'll geocode it automatically for you. If you know the long lats, you can put them in here. And then here's the power of this. You're able to tell the system what you're searching for. And this time I'm searching for a contact record. And in the example I just gave you, I'm looking for a vendor. I want to look at my active vendors, my subcontractors that are out in the field within 10 miles of this location, and see if there's anybody out there that is able to serve that search area. That's where the work needs to get done. That's one of the main areas we see people use it. The other ways that we see people use it is when somebody calls in and wants a proposal from you and they live in a certain neighborhood. In that case, you put their address, and what you're looking for is you're looking for an active account, an active client. And the power of this is that now you're able to find an entity that will potentially act as a referral for the work that was done. People love to do business with entities that have worked in their neighborhood or the area that they're in. So your search can be specific to a certain type of contact records and a certain distance from whatever address that you're interested in, and then the search can be viewed via a map or just a simple listing, and then you can follow up with them accordingly. All right, so let's see, add request information. Okay, so the next item I wanted to share with you is we have a built into the Results Web product is the ability for you to have a form that goes automatically. This is a built-in form within the Results Web product and will be linked to your website directly. And then it's effectively a request for information. So directly, anybody coming to your website where you decide to publish this form will be able to fill in this information and submit that data. And the power of this is that data goes directly into, because it's all connected part of the results for the web, it will go directly into your system. So let me go ahead and show you this. I'm going to put an example in this case of putting my data in here. We're part of the results software. We're going to go ahead and put 620 Herndon Parkway. We'll keep it as short here. We're going to go to the Herndon, Virginia. (20171). And then phone number, we're going to go and put the main number for results. We can put the email address at r-s.com. This is not a real email address, so not going to really work, but at least to be filled. And let's just so that you would know that this came in from this. This is Monday webinar at 2:40 p.m. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and submit. All right, let's switch over. So this is simulating a website form that is part of the results product, and it's just a portion of the results for the web module. Let's now come into the context, and we're going to go and do a search for Sam. And we have quite a few records. So to keep it simple, I'm going to sort by contact ID, and that's the last record that was put into the system. You can see how many times I've demonstrated that feature from this computer. All right, so I'm right now opening up the actual contact record that just got filled a couple of seconds. We filled it together. This is already, by the way, the system has the capability for you to identify the contact types you want to assign, the website, the source you want to assign, so automatically comes in. Remember the remarks or the notes that I put in there, Monday webinar at 2:40 p.m. It's right here. Here's what else is very powerful and very important. By the way, all the information based on whatever they filled in, email address, the phone numbers, etc., are all automatically filled in, and the record is marked as a prospect. That's all great. But what is the real true power of this? If you look on the activities, you'll notice that a task was already assigned. And by the way, as part of your configuration, you can tell the system who you want to assign the task to. And notice how the sign says is web request information. It's a task. It came in at 2:45 today, and this is the cross-reference to a record. Let me show it to you from a different perspective. Let's say you didn't even know to look for a contact record. Mary is at her desk. Mary goes to the home page and clicks on her to-do list. And if you look at the start date for the to-do list, you'll see that on 8/31, double-click on this entry. Here's the task. There's a web request information. So automatically through the to-do list, Mary is being notified. And notice that through the links tab, the record is already there, and Mary can simply click on that and automatically open up the contact record. This is the power and flexibility of results. You don't have to work in a certain way that our developers thought it would be good for you to think and work that way. You work the way you're comfortable working. So if Mary is going to work from her to-do list, the task already appears, and then she doesn't have to back out of that and go search for the record. That record can be instantly opened from wherever she's working in context of what she's doing. She's going to follow up on that task request, and she needs to open up and see whatever comment the person put in there or any other information that they might have on their account is now part of what she would review before making that call. So that is part of how the built-in request info form for the website is already there. I showed you the next two bullets, search for open tasks based on the user's GPS location. Also showed you how to search for the map customers and or vendors based on the search. And the last piece that we have promised to do is, or the last bullet we have here, is demo custom portals that we have built. So one of the success stories that I invite you to search on, by the way, you can also customize this message. You see the message in green when we submit it. Thank you for your request. We'll be following up with you shortly. You might want to be more specific. Call the office in this if we don't hear back or whatever, so you can customize that further as needed. All right, so what I wanted to bring to your attention is I would invite you, I'm going to show you 3 custom portals we did for one of our major accounts. This is the Pentecostal Church of God. They have over 2,000 licenses from us to manage the church information, as you'll see from a portal now. But if you look at our customers and under success stories, you'll basically see there's many success stories listed up here. The Pentecostal Church of God is listed up here. What I would invite you to review is the various types of portals that we have built for them. I'm going to demonstrate 3 of those, but these are them listed up here and talked about based on their work with us. So let me show you the first portal that is built for them. So in this case, this is a portal specifically built for and custom portal specifically for PCG. This is not sold commercially. Our customer or vendor portals are always built specifically to a certain person. In this case, what they had asked us to do, I'm sorry, let me go back to the screen, make sure we're on the same page starting up. What they had asked us to do is allow us to give us build for them a portal, and the person coming to it or the office coming to it will put in their ID and their password. And the system is smart enough to figure out whether the person logging in is actually a minister or a district office. District offices, PCG is a very large organization. They have over 2,000 active ministers, 1,200 churches, 37 district offices, and they're global. So when the entity logging in could be a minister and or a district office, and the portal will self-adjust automatically. In this case, this is a minister coming in. So the first thing we've served them through here is specific reports that this specific minister is able to access directly from within the main screen. Also, the minister can proceed to pay invoices that is on their plate or assigned to them that is still unpaid. We also have a separate menu to allow them to review all their invoices. So this is actually coming in from the live PCG SQL database itself for every single invoice that this minister has ever been issued, and whether it has been paid or carrying a balance. So you'll notice there are 2 invoices that are still unpaid. So one of the things that the minister can do is a self-serve, instead of like they used to before, call in the main office and give their credit card information. Now through this portal, they're able to click on this button. What this button will immediately do is will actually show only the invoices that are still having a balance due, and then the minister can decide to pay this invoice and or this invoice and or both. And as they click one or more items, the system will tally up how much they have committed to pay, and they can proceed to process that payment. And the default checkbox is to automatically mail them a receipt. Now, the beauty about this system is this is not a secondary system that's just going to another payment processing site. We will actually update the actual invoice itself because we have all the information. We actually pulled it from the SQL database, the results database, update the actual invoice information, attach a payment record, and everything now is ready to be synchronized with QuickBooks. PCG uses QuickBooks. That's why we were chosen to do the work for them on the results product. The other area that's very unique to how they done business is managing documents. It is a very sensitive and a very big deal the way they have to manage their documents, because different entities within the organization, they have people that are board members, there are people that are just regular ministers, and there are district offices, and there are different forms and documents that are shared by different entities. So the system behind the scene is filtering the documents that are specifically available to that entity. By the way, financial reports that gets distributed to the board members are automatically done through this document, and because of the security, then they will never appear on anybody else's other than the board members themselves, because it's all data driven from the system. And so the system is effectively self-serving the documents based on the entity with the proper security rights for what they are allowed to see or should see. Handles their invoices and automatic payments, self-service of payments directly into the system, minimal data entry, and staff don't have to be involved. So this is one of the portals. The other portal that we built for them, so let me close that one out, is a Find a Church. And the beauty about the Find a Church portal is that it was actually built based on real data. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and select another record here. Let's say Winchester, Virginia, do a search. There's the record. I'm able to see it on the map. And by the way, if for whatever reason the church phone number or contact information changed, then that, as soon as somebody hits save on the record, next time there's a search, it's automatically accurate, because we're actually doing a live search against their live database. The beauty about how they had us build this, by the way, is unique to the way they wanted to do the operation. They were concerned that if somebody comes and searches on Virginia and does not specify a city, then effectively it would be easy for others to come in and read the mailing list very quickly, because all the names would be listed up here, and they didn't want that exposure. So we did for them. We gave them a totally different portal that is unique to them, and they only share it with the staff. They don't put this on their website. By the way, the portal that I just mentioned to you, the URL I gave you, it's available if you go to the PCG website, click on Find a Church. That's exactly the software that gets run on their website. Now, in this case, this is something that's only for HQ staff, so it's a little bit of a different, unique name to it. And so you're able to search for Virginia, and now all 7 answers will come in automatically here. They just did not want any person coming to their website to have direct access and make it too simple for them to just pick up all the names and the addresses. And now you can go to any of them and map that location directly using Google. All right, so that's the second main portal that I wanted to highlight for you. And here's the third one. It doesn't even look like a portal. And this is basically their donations system that goes off their website. This is a data-driven system that was built by us for them, and it actually reads live the different funds and different departments that they have within the organization. So a person coming in says, okay, I'm going to donate $15 on here. I'm going to do $25 here. I can close that out, and Women Ministries, we're going to go ahead and do $35, and for this special 25. And let's go National Missions, and we're going to do 15 here. So notice as I typed away, the system was tallying up how much of the donation total I have. And when I'm satisfied with everything that I've decided, the different funds, and these funds again, oh, this is, by the way, another example. So notice here where it's one layer down, under Women Ministries, there are those specific funds that you're able to contribute to. Under World Missions, there are actually, you can go to the missionaries because they're global, and you can pick up a specific missionary and contribute to them. And or you can go to the departments and then contribute to them. So all this hierarchy and all this flexibility in what's available is instantly driven by the data directly and automatically handled through this application. When this person now is ready to make the payment, they're committed to $115. They fill the information up here and click submit. They receive a receipt. And the power of all of this is that what was already filled will actually, we will put sales receipts electronically and directly into their application, so there's no double data entry. This is not an order form being sent to a person to enter it in the system. We already know how to build invoices, we already know how to receive payments, we already know how to send them to QuickBooks. So all that is done behind the scenes, and all the data is entered instantly based on the donation module, based on specific funds. And their funds, by the way, are sophisticated, where there is sometimes a distribution. If you put something in the general fund, 15% of that will go to overhead, and another 85% might of whatever was donated might go to a different fund. All of it is managed behind the scenes based on table-driven and data-driven rules that are specific to them. So these are the custom portals that I wanted to share with you. We've done, by the way, this is one of our largest clients, over 2,000 licenses. We have another client out of Dallas, Texas, that's a construction and remodeling organization, also over 2,000 licenses. And because of their certain work, and one of their biggest clients is Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae, for certification purposes, wanted to be able to come and inspect the work that they do on all their projects. So we have built them a portal to allow Fannie Mae to log in and review the documents based on the work that it's done. So effectively, it's going through the project management side. It's looking at projects that have activities on them, and within those activities, if you look on the docs links, these are, by the way, this is the one that we just did together. There's a before and after picture as well as signature picture. All are part of the activity record right now. If this was part of the Fannie Mae portfolio and they're linked back to a certain customer record for Fannie Mae as the controlling entity responsible for that property where the work is done, then Fannie Mae will be able to come and inspect all those images directly, because this is a completed and invoiced item. So that's another portal that we built on TNS. I know we're out of time, so I appreciate very much you taking the time to be with us today. I thank you so much. Please note that you have any questions for us. Please feel free to engage our consultants, senior consultants that are at headquarters. You can reach us directly at 800-713-7013 or through our website. We'll be glad to answer your questions. You'll basically get a follow-up email thanking you for attending, and for those of you that registered but could not attend, you will also get a separate mailing that makes the copy of the video available to you. So we will have that for you available and ready shortly. Please let us know if you have any further questions, and thank you so much for being with us today.